What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now today we're going to be checking out some Battlefield 4 gameplay, and we're going to be discussing Battlefield 2042 regarding my top 5 biggest concerns when it comes to the Battlefield 2042 multiplayer reveal and also the trailer reveal. Now I do want to make it very clear that this top 5 list is nothing that's going to be game breaking. It's not going to change my opinion on the game itself. I want everybody to know that deep down, I think this game looks outstanding. The gameplay that I saw is phenomenal, and I already put my money down on this game, and I'm extremely excited to try out the beta. But I do want to make this list because there were a few things that I did recognize in the trailer and also during the gameplay, and a few things that were missed out as well that I hope isn't going to be a problem in the future. Again, don't think I'm taking any hate for this game. I love it so far. I just thought it would be a good idea to put out some concerns, and I also thought it would be a fantastic way to connect with you guys, see what you guys are thinking about the new trailer, about the new gameplay, and see if anybody else has any different concerns than mine about what they saw, because like I said, I'm not a genius. I'm not some god-tier person in this world. I miss things. Nobody's perfect. So it's great to have, hundreds of other people out there who can also see the same gameplay, who might have spotted something that I didn't spot as well. So starting out with number 1 on my list, and just to let you guys know, this list is in no specific order, so, it's not from top to worst things. No, I just kind of scrambled everything into the mix. Now, the first thing that I put down here is that there's going to be TAC Sprint and Battlefield 2042. Now, for those who don't know what TAC Sprint is, it's a feature that was originated in Modern Warfare 2019, basically allowing you to have a regular sprint, and if you spam or double tap the sprint button, you have a short amount of time to have a TAC Sprint, which kind of doubles your original sprint speed, but you have to regen by not moving, taking a break from running and stuff like that. It's not easy to get back, but in Modern Warfare, there was a sneaky way to get around this, which was called slide canceling. It was a technique that a lot of players used not only to move faster around the map and make themselves a harder target, but to regen their TAC Sprint a lot quicker instead of having to stop and wait and then, be able to TAC Sprint again. It was a very cheesy mechanic. It's a very cheesy thing, and it's very obnoxious because I'm not going to lie, my pinky hurts like hell. A full year of Modern Warfare 2019, I feel like my pinky broke, honestly, because I am one of the sweats. I'm not going to lie. I TAC Sprint a lot. I slide cancel a lot. I just like movement. I like being able to perfect the movement and perfect my gameplay, and that's how you have to do it. When a game offers a technique that adds a skill gap, for better players who want to improve, we got to take advantage of that skill gap. So if TAC Sprint is coming to Battlefield 2042, I'm just worried that that's going to be a skill gap that's going to force players into the same repetitive cycle where you're going to just completely break your left analog stick. You're going to be running through keyboards with shift keys. Your pinky and thumbs are just going to be on fire. It's just going to be another year of that. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping they don't have any slide canceling features because, for those who don't know, slide canceling is in Battlefield 5. You could slide around the whole map at max speed. It's absurd how good slide canceling is. So if it's the same thing in Battlefield 2042, along with being able to TAC Sprint, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but it's not, again, it's nothing that's too insane. It's a very mild concern. It's nothing game-breaking. I just hope that it's not going to be too big of a problem. I just hope they balance it out. That's all. Now, number 2 on my list is the Levolution and Battlefield 2042. Now, Call of Duty players probably don't know what Levolution is, because Call of Duty is a more basic game than others, mostly revolving around gun skill. But in Battlefield, Levolution is probably one of the most important features out of anything. I would say it's the most top three most important things that you need in any Battlefield game. It's very iconic, and what Levolution is it basically allows you to destroy other features around the map. Take down buildings, trees, structures, anything you could think of. A tank or a rocket can take down any piece of the map. But for some strange reason, Battlefield 2042 didn't showcase any of this Levolution, which is kind of sad because Battlefield's known for taking down massive skyscrapers and buildings that can just be completely destructible. It's known for this stuff, but we didn't see anything, especially in a trailer that had tons of tanks, tons of, helis that had rockets, jets, people like helicopters crashing into buildings. Not a single bit of destructibility. No windows shattering on the buildings, none of the buildings falling down. You would think at least one of those buildings on some of these maps is like 50, 100 plus structures. I'm probably over-exaggerating, probably more like 40 plus structures on each one of these maps, but not one of the buildings have fell down. It threw me off guard a little bit. Now, I'm 110% positive Levolution is going to be in Battlefield 2042, but I hope it's to a good extent. Like I said, they didn't showcase it that much. I just hope that they're not hiding something, or they're not showcasing something for a specific reason, something that maybe is going to be on the bad side, or maybe they're just not showing us because they have something very big in store to show us. Maybe something that's going to be massive in the terms of Levolution that we're going to be waiting for a little bit to showcase off. But like I said, I am a tad bit worried about that, because that is a key factor to a Battlefield game, and if they don't do that correctly, it can determine a big portion of this game, if it's going to be good or if it's going to be bad. Number 3 on my list is actually a pretty big problem. Now, I know I did say that the majority of this list isn't going to be a big deal, and there are minor concerns, but this is probably going to be the largest concern on this whole list, and that is the fact that pretty much anybody can run a rocket in this game. Now, if anybody didn't notice, in this game, there's going to be specialists instead of classes like medics, assault, support, and recon. And because you have specialists, now you can use any weapon for any class. You're not, stuck with SMGs for medics, ARs for assault players, LMGs for support players, snipers for recon. You're not like that anymore. You could use whatever you want. But on the side of that, not only can you use any weapon and any sidearm you want, but you're allowed to use any gadget you want. And RPGs and rockets are going to be considered gadgets. So not only can you use any assault rifle and have a pistol still as a secondary, or whatever secondary you want, anybody's allowed to carry around a rocket launcher on top of a primary and a secondary. Everybody's going to be using this. Now, I know there's going to be other gadgets that might encourage you to use something else, But at the end of the day, between having your own specialist ability, I don't think having a secondary gadget is going to be really that important. Me personally, I'm always going to carry around a rocket. Rockets and RPGs are crucial when it comes to Battlefield games for gameplay like you're watching right here. When you have good players holding down good, actual tanks or any other heavy armored vehicle, it's a pain in the butt. And usually in the past, you have to have teammates who knew how to use the assault class, or whatever class is considered, because every single Battlefield game changes up at something different. But you have to have players who are willing to take out the specific class, to use rockets, to take out the heavy armored vehicles. No longer. Pretty much a whole team can run rockets, which means that any tank that decides to come into the map is at risk of having 50 plus rockets flying at it. I don't know how this is going to be balanced out, but I can already see the outcome of this being very horrible. They have to find a different way to use RPGs. I think the best way is to put it in the secondary slot. Don't allow people to be able to run a primary, any secondary pistol, whatever secondary they want, and then a rocket as a gadget. I think that's just completely silly. They should be able to have a rocket as a secondary or a pistol as a secondary, which will encourage people to not always have a rocket at the same time, and hopefully it will balance out the heavy artillery and also the air combat along with infantry gameplay. Now, since we're kind of still in the same ballpark with this topic, I'm going to go over to the topic for number 4, which revolves around the vehicles of Battlefield 2042. Now, for those who don't know, if you want any type of ground vehicle, whether it's a Jeep or a heavy armored tank, you call it in through a point system, just like you could in Battlefield 5, how your squad would earn a bunch of points, and you can call in massive rockets, ammo drops, or even little vehicle drops. You could do that in this game as well. So if you want a tank, you go ahead, you save up the points, you drop for a tank. Now, my main concern is, what if your team is so awful, they have absolutely no clue what they're doing, they waste all their points on absolute worthless crap, or they're just so bad that they can't even get points to begin with, to the point where your team gets pummeled because you guys can't call in any tanks, but the enemy team is doing so well, and they're dominating your team so perfectly, that they can call in all the tanks. I mean, they have 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks rolling up on you, while your team has none because they don't know how to play the game. I feel like there's going to be a balancing issue here. Now, in previous games, well, any other game, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, any Battlefield game, up to current date, the vehicles go to your main spawn. You have to wait in the main menu screen, you see a vehicle pop up like a tank or anything of that sort, you hop in, you go about your business. I feel like that's more fair, because the game chooses how many tanks you're allowed to have to make it an equal fight, and I feel like if you allow the players to go about this business, it's going to be bad, especially if I'm a solo player and I'm playing with a squad who has no clue what they're doing. What if it's only squad points? What if it's not solo points only? What if you have to depend on your squad leader to call in a vehicle, and you have to depend on your squad to use it? What if I just want a solo tank? What if I just want a little Jeep for myself? Do I have my own points to myself, or do I have to go ahead and share with the full squad? There's a lot of factors that I feel like can just completely destroy the system, and it worries me. Now, again, we don't know how this is going to turn out until we actually get hands-on with the beta or alpha or something like that. So until that happens, I'm not going to make this such a massive concern. It is something that's on my mind. It is worrying, but until I actually play for myself, I'm not going to worry about it too much, because apparently from the gameplay, it looks like a pretty decent system. I just got to see for myself. And now time for my final main concern that I have for Battlefield 2042, and that is the actual gunplay. Strangely enough, for a for an FPS gameplay trailer, a first-person shooter gameplay trailer, they didn't show too much of the first-person shooter aspect. The guy who we're watching didn't get many kills, if no kills at all. I mean, we didn't get to see much action, which was strange, because you would think that we will see a lot of gunplay, but it didn't really disturb me too much. I still think out of the gameplay reveal, we got a lot of action, a lot of stuff that was very crucial to know about Battlefield. They wanted us to know that we could still get the same traditional Battlefield moments, action-packed gameplay, intense all-out warfare out of this game. Gunplay, a different story though. I don't know if it's going to be good or if it's going to be bad, and that's really scary because gunplay is the most crucial factor of any FPS game. If the gunplay is boring, or if it's stale, or if it simply does not work, if the servers were on our crap, if the hit registration is booty cheeks, if anything goes wrong, people aren't going to play it, because at the end of the day, it might be a cool looking game, but it's still a first-person shooter. The shooting must work. That's the whole purpose of it being called, a first-person, quote-unquote, shooter, right? But I don't know. It's definitely a concern of mine, but again, I mean, what Battlefield game has been that bad? We haven't really seen anything, even though Battlefield 5 was, to me personally, one of the worst Battlefield games ever made in the history of Battlefield. At the end of the day, the gunplay was still there. The hit detection was still there. I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems with it, so I can't see them going wrong here, but it's still a concern of mine because we didn't see anything of that out of the gameplay reveal. But guys, that is my top 5 list of my concerns for Battlefield 2042. If you guys agree with me, make sure you go down in the comment section. Let me know if you do, or if you don't, let me know that as well. And also, if you have some other concerns or things that I didn't mention in this list, make sure you go ahead and do so. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I am going to be making more content for Battlefield 2042 in the near future. Definitely going to be making a top 5 list of my most favorite things that I saw out of both the revealed trailer and the gameplay trailer as well. So if you guys want to see those videos, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell notification button, helps get notified on all those uploads and everything like that. But guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, and if you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you want to catch me on any type of social medias, I go on Twitter, and I have a Discord channel as well. Links to those are down in the description. And if you want to watch me live stream some video games like you're watching right here with some Battlefield 4, I do that every single day over on Twitch, starting about around 3 p.m. Eastern time. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.